Tired of the noise, traffic, and constant buzz of the modern world? Imagine living so far off the grid that your nearest neighbor is miles or even days away. In this video, we're exploring the 20 most isolated homes for people who hate the outside world. Number 20. Cosmiques Pillar Monastery, Georgia. Perched atop a narrow 130-foot limestone pillar in western Georgia, the Cosmiques Pillar Monastery is one of the most astonishing and isolated places of worship in the world. For centuries, this natural rock tower remained untouched due to its sheer height and inaccessibility. In the 1990s, after archaeologists explored its summit and found the remains of a church, hermit cells, and a wine cellar, a modern-day monk named Maxim Kaftaradze decided to make it his permanent home. Living completely alone, Maxim scaled the dangerous pillar and restored the monastery, dedicating his life to solitude and prayer. He only descends twice a week to gather supplies and connect briefly with visitors or clergy. Reaching the top requires climbing a terrifying metal ladder bolted to the cliff face, a task not for the faint-hearted. This home isn't just a retreat, it's a testament to spiritual devotion and extreme isolation. There is no electricity, no running water, and certainly no neighbors, just sky, stone, and silence. For those who seek to escape the world entirely, Cosmiques Pillar is the ultimate escape into solitude, sacrifice, and serenity. Number 19. Villa Las Estrellas, Antarctica. Villa Las Estrellas is one of only 2 civilian settlements on the entire continent of Antarctica, making it one of the most isolated inhabited places on Earth. Located on King George Island, off the coast of the Antarctic Peninsula, this small Chilean village was established in the 1980s as part of Chile's territorial presence in Antarctica. Despite its harsh climate and isolation, it functions like a tiny town with homes, a school, a post office, and even a bank. What makes Villa Las Estrellas particularly fascinating is that it's not just a scientific outpost. It's a place where families live, children go to school, and people carry out everyday routines. The population ranges from about 80 in summer to just a few dozen in winter. With freezing temperatures, months of darkness, and no roads connecting it to the outside world, it's truly cut off from the rest of humanity. Every resident must undergo an appendix removal before moving in, since emergency medical care is extremely limited. Flights to and from the village are rare and weather-dependent. For those seeking total remoteness while still technically living in a town, Villa Las Estrellas is about as far as you can go, literally and figuratively. Number 18. Pedy, Australia. Pedy is a remote mining town in the Australian outback known for its unique underground homes, built to escape the region's extreme heat. Located in South Australia, this isolated settlement is often referred to as the opal capital of the world due to its massive opal deposits discovered in the early 1900s. But what really makes Pedy stand out is how its residents live beneath the Earth's surface. With summer temperatures often soaring above 110 degrees Fahrenheit, many locals have built their homes, known as dugouts, directly into the hillsides or underground. These subterranean homes stay naturally cool and are surprisingly spacious and comfortable. Even churches, hotels, and shops are built underground, making the town feel like a hidden civilization beneath the desert. Pedy is hundreds of miles from the nearest major city, giving it a surreal, post-apocalyptic vibe. The landscape is dotted with mounds of excavated rock and eerie, barren terrain. Internet and phone service can be spotty, and it's not uncommon to go hours or even days without seeing anyone new. If you're looking to disappear into the earth, literally, Pedy offers a lifestyle of total retreat from the outside world, with a touch of quirky charm and gritty survivalism. Number 17. Just Room Enough Island, United States. Just Room Enough Island is exactly what its name suggests, barely large enough to hold a single house, one tree, and a couple of chairs. Located on the St. Lawrence River between the US and Canada, this tiny speck of land is part of the Thousand Islands archipelago and holds the title of the smallest inhabited island in the world. It was purchased in the 1950s by the Iceland family, who wanted a peaceful holiday getaway with complete privacy. The entire island measures only about 3,300 square feet, roughly the size of a tennis court, and yet it contains a cozy cottage that somehow fits perfectly. The home is built almost edge to edge, with water lapping right at its foundation. When the tide rises, parts of the island disappear under the surface. Though surrounded by other small islands, just Room Enough Island is still remarkably isolated. There's no bridge or road access, you can only reach it by boat. With no room for expansion, no cars, and no neighbors, this island is a dream for extreme introverts. It's a quirky yet functional example of minimalist living, offering total solitude in a postcard-perfect setting, just enough room to escape the world. Number 16. Palmerston Island Home, South Pacific. Palmerston Island is one of the most remote and isolated inhabited islands in the world, located in the Cook Islands in the heart of the South Pacific Ocean. It is home to just a few dozen people, all of whom are descendants of a single Englishman, William Marsters, who settled the island with his Polynesian wives in the 1860s. Today, only one family lineage remains, and every resident is somehow related. Life on Palmerston is the definition of isolation. The island has no airport, and the only way to reach it is by boat, which may come only a few times a year, depending on weather and sea conditions. There are no shops, restaurants, or tourist resorts, just small family homes built on the white sand lotus islets that surround the island's lagoon. Electricity is limited and mostly solar-powered. Communication with the outside world is sporadic at best. The people of Palmerston rely on fishing, rainwater collection, and the occasional shipment of supplies. Despite its tropical beauty, living here means embracing total seclusion and self-sufficiency. For those who dream of getting as far away from modern civilization as possible, a home on Palmerston Island offers complete escape, both geographically and socially. Number 15. Refuge des Cosmiques, France. Perched high in the French Alps near Mont Blanc, the Refuge des Cosmiques is one of the most remote and dramatic mountain shelters in Europe. Located at an altitude of 3,613 meters or 11,854 feet, this isolated alpine hut is accessible only by glacier trekking, mountaineering, or via the nearby Aiguille du Midi cable car followed by a dangerous ridge walk. Despite its modest size and Spartan amenities, it offers jaw-dropping views, silence, and the sense of being truly removed from the world below. Originally built for climbers and mountaineers preparing to ascend Mont Blanc or other nearby peaks, Refuge des Cosmiques is open during the summer season and can accommodate about 140 guests in shared rooms. While it's not a traditional home, it has all the essentials: beds, food, heat, and a place to rest, often for several days at a time in total isolation. There are no roads, no neighborhoods, and definitely no cell service. Snowstorms and avalanches can cut off access completely. For thrill seekers and solitude lovers alike, this sky-high refuge offers an experience of extreme remoteness, surrounded by nothing but ice, rock, and the vast silence of the Alps. Number 14. North Sentinel Island, India. North Sentinel Island, part of the Andaman Islands in the Bay of Bengal, is home to the Sentinelese, one of the last uncontacted tribes on Earth. This remote island is not just isolated geographically, it's deliberately cut off from the modern world. The Sentinelese people have lived in complete seclusion for thousands of years, rejecting all outside contact with fierce resistance. Any attempts to approach the island have been met with hostility, including arrows and spears. The Indian government has made it illegal to go within 5 kilometers of the island to protect both outsiders and the tribe itself from disease and disruption. The island has no electricity, no modern infrastructure, and no known communication with the outside world. The Sentinelese live a simple, traditional lifestyle, hunting, fishing, and gathering, all without any influence from modern civilization. Although it's not a single home in the traditional sense, the entire island functions as a deeply isolated habitat for its residents. For those who crave complete separation from society, North Sentinel Island represents the ultimate in isolation, where the outside world simply doesn't exist. It is one of the most forbidden and mysterious inhabited places on Earth. Number 13. Apostle Island's Lighthouse Keeper's Quarters, United States. Located on one of the remote islands in Lake Superior, the Apostle Island's Lighthouse Keeper's Quarters is an iconic symbol of isolation in the United States. The Apostle Island's National Lakeshore in Wisconsin is home to several lighthouses, but the keeper's quarters, situated on these islands, offer a glimpse into the life of a solitary lighthouse keeper during the 19th and early 20th centuries. The keeper's quarters were designed to house the lighthouse keeper and their family, often for months at a time, as they maintained the lighthouse and ensured its light was operational. The nearest town was often many miles away, accessible only by boat. The rugged and isolated environment of the islands, with harsh winters and wild, unforgiving conditions, made this a true retreat from the outside world. Today, the lighthouse keeper's quarters on these islands are preserved as part of the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore, offering visitors a glimpse into the solitary and tough life of the keepers. Though no longer manned full-time, these quarters still embody a life of extreme isolation and self-sufficiency, surrounded by vast stretches of water and untouched wilderness. Number 12. Villa Vals, Switzerland. Tucked into the hillside of the Swiss Alps, Villa Vals is a stunning underground home that offers luxurious seclusion in one of the world's most beautiful and remote regions. Built directly into a mountainside near the village of Vals, the house was designed to blend seamlessly with its natural surroundings, making it nearly invisible from above. The only visible part of the home is a circular courtyard facade that opens up to panoramic views of the valley. Despite its hidden exterior, the interior of Villa Vals is spacious, modern, and bathed in natural light. Large windows and clever architectural design make it feel open while maintaining complete privacy. Accessible only by a tunnel that connects it to a nearby barn, the home is physically and visually cut off from the outside world. Villa Vals was created with sustainability in mind, using natural materials and passive heating techniques to minimize environmental impact. It's the perfect getaway for anyone looking to disconnect in comfort. No roads pass by, and no neighbors are nearby. Whether covered in snow or lush alpine greenery, this secretive retreat offers isolation without sacrificing style, making it a dream home for introverts and solitude seekers alike. Number 11. The Drina River House, Serbia. Perched on a rock in the middle of the Drina River, the Drina River House in Serbia is one of the most visually striking and isolated homes in the world. Located near the town of Bajina Basta, this tiny wooden cabin balances precariously on a boulder surrounded by fast-moving water, far from roads, cities, or neighbors. It was originally built in 1968 by a group of young swimmers who wanted a peaceful spot to relax. Over the years, it has been rebuilt several times after being destroyed by floods. Despite its small size and vulnerability to the elements, the Drina River House has become a symbol of serene isolation. It has no electricity, running water, or permanent inhabitants, but occasionally serves as a retreat for those seeking silence and a break from modern life. Access is only possible by boat or swimming, adding to the sense of seclusion. Its unique location and picturesque surroundings have turned it into a beloved landmark, but it still retains its original spirit of detachment and tranquility. Surrounded by rushing water and mountain views, this house offers a peaceful escape for those craving solitude, simplicity, and the soothing sound of nature. Number 10. Hutuan Village, Shengshan Island, China. Once a thriving fishing village, Hutuan on Shengshan Island in eastern China is now one of the most hauntingly beautiful examples of nature reclaiming human space. Abandoned in the 1990s due to economic shifts and the difficulty of accessing the remote island, the village has been slowly overtaken by lush green vines and vegetation. Today, it looks like a real-life lost world, where entire houses, staircases, and streets are wrapped in greenery, creating an eerie yet breathtaking landscape. Though largely deserted, a few residents still live in or near the village, clinging to the solitude and simplicity that the remote island offers. There are no cars, no modern infrastructure, and limited ferry service to the mainland. The journey to Hutuan involves a multi-hour trip by boat and foot, making it truly off the beaten path. Despite its abandonment, Hutuan has gained attention as a rare glimpse of what happens when people leave and nature takes over. For those seeking isolation with a touch of the surreal, this village offers a peaceful yet powerful reminder of humanity's small place in the world, and what true solitude can look like when the modern world fades away. Number 9. Changtang Nomad Homes, Tibet. The Changtang Plateau in northern Tibet is one of the most remote, inhospitable regions on Earth, and yet it's home to some of the world's most resilient people. The Changtang nomads, known as the Champa, have lived in this harsh environment for centuries, relying on traditional methods to survive the freezing temperatures, high altitudes, and barren terrain. Their homes are simple black yak wool tents called rebos, designed to be portable, durable, and insulating against the brutal climate. Life in Changtang is incredibly isolated. There are no cities, few roads, and virtually no modern conveniences. These nomadic families move seasonally in search of grazing land for their yaks, which provide milk, meat, wool, and even fuel in the form of dried dung. Communication with the outside world is minimal, and access to supplies is limited, often requiring days of travel on horseback or foot. Despite the extreme conditions, the Changpa people maintain a strong cultural identity and spiritual connection to the land. Their lifestyle is one of complete disconnection from modern life: no internet, no electricity, no running water. For those drawn to solitude and traditional living, the nomadic homes of the Changtang Plateau represent an ancient, enduring way of life far removed from the outside world. Number 8. The Glass Cabin, West Virginia, United States. Hidden deep in the forests of West Virginia, the Glass Cabin is a modern architectural marvel designed for those who crave peace, privacy, and a total break from civilization. Surrounded by thick woodland and perched on a secluded hillside, this minimalist structure features floor-to-ceiling glass walls on all sides, offering stunning panoramic views of nature while remaining completely disconnected from the noise of the outside world. Despite its transparent design, the cabin is remarkably private thanks to its remote location. There are no neighbors in sight, and access is only possible via a long, winding path through the woods. Inside, the space is cozy and uncluttered, blending natural wood with modern comforts like a fireplace, a small kitchen, and solar-powered utilities. The Glass Cabin is an off-grid retreat, meaning there's no cell service, no Wi-Fi, and no distractions, just the sounds of wind, birdsong, and rustling leaves. It's a favorite among artists, writers, and introverts looking to recharge in solitude. Whether covered in snow or bathed in golden autumn light, this cabin offers a serene, dreamlike escape for anyone seeking to leave the modern world behind, even if just for a few days. Number 7. Solvay Hut, Switzerland. Perched dramatically on the edge of a rocky cliff on the Matterhorn mountain, the Solvay Hut is one of the highest and most isolated shelters in the Alps. Located at an altitude of 4,003 meters or 13,133 feet, this tiny wooden cabin is not a typical home, but for climbers braving the Matterhorn, it can be a life-saving refuge. Built in 1915 and renovated over time, the hut sits in a location so remote and dangerous that reaching it requires serious mountaineering skill and experience. The Solvay Hut is incredibly Spartan, offering just a few bunk beds and emergency supplies. There is no running water, electricity, or heat, and it's not intended for overnight stays unless absolutely necessary. Still, it's technically inhabitable, and its extreme location provides total solitude and breathtaking views of the surrounding peaks. What makes Solvay Hut truly remarkable is how it stands defiantly against the elements, clinging to the face of one of the world's most iconic mountains. Accessible only by climbing, it embodies isolation in the most dramatic sense. For those who dream of living far above the world, literally, this hut represents the ultimate in alpine seclusion and raw, untamed beauty. Number 6. Coast Guard Station, Iceland. Nestled on a rugged, windswept cliff on the remote island of Heimaey, the Struffy Coast Guard Station in Iceland is one of the loneliest inhabited outposts in the North Atlantic. Built on the southern tip of the Westman Islands, the station was originally designed for weather monitoring and Coast Guard duties, but it also served as a temporary home for personnel stationed in one of the most isolated environments imaginable. Surrounded by dramatic sea cliffs, volcanic landscapes, and relentless winds, the station has no nearby neighbors and is accessible only via a steep, narrow road. It endures some of the strongest winds in Europe and experiences frequent storms, making it a challenging place to live and work. Yet it offers unparalleled views of the wild Icelandic coast and the vast Atlantic Ocean. Though modern technology has reduced the need for permanent staff at such stations, the building still stands as a symbol of Iceland's remote, resilient character. For those who've stayed there, the solitude is total, no city lights, no traffic, just the roar of the ocean and the howl of the wind. It's a place where nature dominates, perfect for anyone who wants to disappear from the world and live on the edge, literally. Number 5. La Rinconada, Peru. Located high in the Peruvian Andes near the Bolivian border, La Rinconada is often called the highest permanent human settlement on Earth. Sitting at a staggering altitude of over 5,100 meters or 16,700 feet, this gold mining town is as remote as it is extreme. There are no paved roads leading to La Rinconada, and reaching it involves a treacherous journey through rugged mountain terrain. The town is isolated not just by geography, but also by its harsh living conditions and lack of infrastructure. Home to around 30,000 people, La Rinconada is built on the edge of a glacier and exists almost entirely because of informal gold mining. Temperatures are frigid year-round, and there's little to no plumbing, waste management, or access to clean water. Oxygen is thin at this altitude, which can cause severe altitude sickness for newcomers. Despite these hardships, many residents stay, hoping to strike it rich. There's virtually no police presence or governmental support, and life here is defined by self-reliance and survival. For those who want to disappear from modern life, or have no choice, La Rinconada offers complete separation from the outside world in one of the most unforgiving yet strangely captivating places on Earth. Number 4. Supai Village, Arizona, United States. Hidden deep within the Grand Canyon, Supai Village is one of the most isolated communities in the continental United States. Home to the Havasupai tribe, Supai is located at the bottom of a canyon, and it's the only place in the U.S. where mail is still delivered by mule. There are no roads that reach the village. Getting there requires a challenging 8-mile hike, a helicopter ride, or a horseback journey through steep canyon trails. With a population of just a few hundred, Supai is surrounded by towering red rock walls, waterfalls, and stunning desert scenery. The isolation has helped preserve the Havasupai people's traditional way of life, culture, and language. Despite limited infrastructure and modern conveniences, the village has a school, a small store, and a clinic. The remoteness of Supai offers a peaceful, off-the-grid existence where the outside world feels incredibly distant. There is no cell service, and internet access is limited at best. Life in Supai moves at a slower, more grounded pace, deeply connected to the natural rhythms of the land. For anyone seeking true seclusion in a breathtaking setting, Supai Village is a rare and remarkable example of life apart from modern society. Number 3. Rinconada, Greenland. Tucked away on the eastern coast of Greenland, Rinconada is one of the most remote and isolated inhabited settlements on Earth. With a population of just under 500 people, this tiny village is surrounded by vast stretches of ice, towering fjords, and some of the harshest weather conditions imaginable. It's so remote that access is only possible by helicopter or a boat during the brief summer months when the sea ice thaws. For most of the year, the surrounding waters are frozen solid. Founded in 1925 by Inuit settlers, Rinconada relies heavily on traditional hunting and fishing for survival, with polar bears, seals, and narwhals playing vital roles in local culture and economy. There are no roads to other towns, and supplies must be flown in or shipped during a narrow window of the year. Life here is quiet, self-reliant, and deeply connected to nature. The town has basic amenities like a school, church, and store, but modern luxuries are limited. The isolation fosters a tight-knit community and a pace of life that's completely disconnected from the hustle of the outside world. For anyone seeking absolute solitude and a life in harmony with the Arctic wilderness, Rinconada offers the ultimate escape. Number 2. Casa do Penedo, Portugal. Casa do Penedo, also known as the House of Stone, is a remarkable and isolated home located in the rugged mountains of northern Portugal. Perched between 4 massive granite boulders, this unusual structure blends into the natural landscape in a way few homes do. Built in the early 1970s by a Portuguese family, the house design is both simple and striking, using the surrounding rocks as part of its walls, roof, and foundation. The boulders offer both structural support and natural insulation, making the house an ideal retreat from the outside world. The house sits in a remote area, surrounded by dense forests and steep cliffs, far from the nearest town. Despite its seclusion, it's become a popular tourist attraction due to its unique design and stunning location. With no neighbors nearby and minimal access, it's an idyllic haven for those seeking total solitude. The interior is modest, yet comfortable with a fireplace, small kitchen, and basic living areas. Casa do Penedo represents the perfect blend of human ingenuity and nature's grandeur. For anyone yearning for absolute isolation in a stunning, peaceful setting, this stone house offers a rare escape from modern life. Number 1. Lea Island House, Iceland. Perched alone on a windswept island off the southern coast of Iceland, the Lea Island House is the definition of isolation. The tiny white house sits on Lea, part of the Vestmannager archipelago, surrounded by sheer cliffs, rolling green hills, and the vast, cold waters of the North Atlantic. With no other buildings, no roads, and no permanent residents on the island, the house appears almost mythical, earning it the nickname, the world's loneliest house. Built in the 1950s by the Lea Hunting Association, the house is used occasionally as a hunting lodge for puffin hunters and nature lovers. It has no electricity, running water, or internet, and can only be reached by boat in good weather or helicopter. Despite its simplicity, it provides shelter, warmth, and incredible panoramic views of the sea and sky. Rumors once swirled that the house belonged to a celebrity or a mysterious hermit, but the truth is more practical. It's a functional yet humble cabin for those brave enough to embrace the raw, untamed isolation of the Icelandic coast. For anyone dreaming of pure solitude in one of the world's most dramatic landscapes, Lea Island House is the ultimate escape. Whether it's a house perched on a sea cliff, hidden deep in the mountains, or surrounded by endless ice, these isolated homes show just how far people will go to escape the chaos of everyday life. Some offer peace, others demand resilience, but all share one thing: complete seclusion. If you enjoyed this journey into the world's loneliest homes, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more incredible and unusual places around the globe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next adventure.